So I want to introduce now, Kate Lee, program facilitator with Two Bit Circus Foundation. And I was informed that Kate will be building a TIE fighter big enough to actually crawl into. Can you imagine that? If she succeeds, I'm sure even the Empire will be impressed. Well, may the fourth be with you, Kate, and everyone there at home on here May 7th. And I can't wait to see what you create there, Kate, as an ode to Star Wars and living that dream. And okay, let's take it away to Kate.
Hi everyone. Thanks for that intro, Tora. So I had to troubleshoot this morning because I actually did build my TIE fighter wings. I'm gonna turn my TIE fighter to the side and tell you why I can't build it the way I wanted to. So I built my wings. They're pretty legit, but just for reference, I'm 5'2", and these wings are about 5'2", a little bit bigger. As you can see, it collapsed a little bit, and it cannot carry the weight of itself on the inside. So instead, what I'm doing is I troubleshooted, and we're actually creating Darth Vader's TIE fighter instead. Thank you. So it's more of the only difference really, besides the structure of it. Okay, I guess I'm just crawling through. I've caught myself in a big bit
It
of
looks
a
like
pickle.
you have your supervisor there with you.
I do. My cat is always my supervisor, so we're good to go there. So I had to troubleshoot and change things up a little bit, just because of the height issue. So now we're building Darth Vader's TIE fighter because it is more of it has more of this long wing instead of the height. I know it's not going to look exactly like it, but
it looks
this has
very
already been
impressive already.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Wow. It looks like
This
you
is
put a lot of work into it too.
Yeah, this is about an hour's worth of work this morning. I didn't want to be building my entire time here with you all. So I am, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Tape. So I am just finishing up some details before I start painting it, because if you're not a maker like me, I'm not very good with cardboard construction. That's why I painted most of what you see in this the cardboard studio room.
Oh, cool.
Excuse me. So I'm gonna try to attempt to save this with a paint job.
Well, you know what your strengths are, Kate, right?
See, exactly. That's my point, is I know my strengths. So I'm not the best builder, but I am a pretty snazzy painter. So I'm going to sell this TIE fighter by painting it correctly. And I had to build these just right now because there's a very iconic shape to Darth Vader's TIE fighter. And he does have these pieces bending in on the top and the bottom. However, cannot do that in the bottom since I need to crawl in it.
Well, why don't you, I mean, you've already done some really good work already. Why don't you take us a bit into your process? Like, how did you start?
Sure. So the way I started with this is I'm a kind of person who likes to have an idea first. If I don't have an idea, then sometimes I get lost. Sometimes I do have that ability to just start creating and then go from there. But that is a challenge for me. I'm a planner, so I like planning. So what I did originally with this idea when I got asked to do the cardboard challenge today was that I decided that I wanted to build something that I had never built before. And I'm a huge Star Wars girl, so why not try a spaceship? An X-Wing was going to be really out of my comfort zone and out of my skill zone because it's a much smaller ship with the big X on it that mainly supports it standing up, which is a bit of an issue. All of the Star Wars planes actually are, for the most part, balanced on wing of some sort. So because we don't have the strongest cardboard here with me, I cannot build a top and a bottom the way I would to make it screen accurate. But you know what? I have achieved the fact that I can fit my body into it. So I'm going to just say we're going to go with that as
Right
its
on.
special surprise.
I love that you're not letting the limitations stop you. Right?
Yeah,
Because
I
you're
think
like, you know
that's
what? Well, this is the cardboard that I have. It's not like the ideal cardboard, but I'm going to make it work. And
absolutely.
that is the most inspiring thing that, anyone can say when they're working, like, because you're not letting anything stop you. You're still going, you know?
I think that's something that as creatives and perfectionists, I am a perfectionist myself. We struggle with sometimes when it comes to building something. Um, we put so much of our heart and soul into the things that we love,
Yeah.
so we feel a personal connection to the things that we create. And for some of us, we get really bogged down on the nitty gritty details of it not being exactly what we had dreamed in our minds.
I hear you.
And while that's great and all for motivation, it's not always the greatest when you're just trying to attempt to do something.
Right.
It can be an inhibitor. I know it has been for me. I have let my fear overtake my need for exploration. So I'm constantly reminding myself right now, it might not be perfect, but you know what? Nobody is. And we would all go poof if we were.
Right.
So it's all about the trying.
It's all about the process, and you learn things along the way. You're like, oh,
Yup.
okay. She's like, yeah. And going back to your thoughts on perfectionism, speaking as a recovering perfectionist myself, I've definitely known, the feeling of just like being in my own way. And
Right.
this idea of, what if I fail? What if it doesn't turn out the way I want it to? What if there are all these other problems? But then, you know what? Like, why does it's never going to be perfect, right?
No,
and so
it never
why
will
not
be.
just let go of any, expectations of perfection and just
Precisely.
like dive into the project, like head first.
Yes.
Like what you're doing. You're like totally in it. You've totally jumped in and you've gotten like really far already with your project.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yes.
I will say it was a full hour of trial and error since I did say I have never built this before. And if you don't know much about the ship itself, it has a round interior.
Okay.
And as you can see with cardboard, that's not exactly the most obvious shape it wants to go into.
Yeah.
It would rather be a rectangle. So, some things you got to just be like, it's just not going to look like that. It's just not going to.
Right. And there is a lot of room for artistry and putting your own stamp of aesthetic creativity. There's no rule. There's no hard and fast rule saying that you have to, if you make something out of cardboard, it has to look exactly like the thing that you made. You know, even Kane's guitar, like it didn't exactly resemble a real guitar, but it was like kind of better than a real guitar. Because he put his own vision on it. And just like what you're doing, you're putting your own vision on this TIE fighter, and it maybe doesn't have to have round walls. You're working with bigger pieces of cardboard. You're working with what you got, and you're still making it happen. So kudos to you on that.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. And I think that's that's just great advice to have in general for anybody who is a builder or a creative is it's learn that it's never going to look like what it looks like in your head.
Right.
You will always have higher expectations than often you can achieve on this plane, at least. And then also understand that there is something innately special about anything you create because it came from you and nobody is you. So
exactly.
in that point, with that point, you are going to be the only person who can make whatever you're making. Because seriously, today we could have had a cardboard challenge where everybody had to make a TIE fighter of some kind. And I can tell you this, we would probably have 7 different looking ones or however many people were on here. And that's the beauty of the diversity of our world is that we have that ability to connect with each other over similar things, but the way that we interpret it can be really fascinating, and it's worth sharing with one another.
So you're making Kate's TIE fighter. I mean, you're not making Darth
Yeah,
Vader's TIE fighter. You're making Kate's TIE fighter, and that's going
I
to look
would
its
say
own
so.
way. Yeah,
Yep,
with its
for
own
sure.
like customized, dimensions where only you can fly that thing.
Right. And you know what? We are going to say that for sure because, as you can see, cardboard does not like to stay up by itself. And I tried to put some extra pieces as bracers
Okay.
in here, but it
Okay.
looks like that is not going the exact way I want it to. And instead of harping on about it and getting frustrated out in this heat, because that's really the thing I didn't plan for today
Ah,
was the heat. I was
yes.
like worried about everything else. I was like, oh man, what if this cardboard doesn't do what I want? What if I don't have the right specs? What if I end up building something too big? And I didn't worry about the heat, which is actually what's the problem.
It is a very warm day here in Los Angeles.
It is. It is
So,
a hot day in LA. I'm not complaining though, because I asked for this hot weather.
but you
You
know
know,
what? You do have good sunlight. You do have a beautiful day that is on your side. And we're, of course, all on your side. Oh,
I appreciate that.
oh.
Yeah. So as you can see, I'm also battling the elements. There's a slight wind
Ah,
and the
aha.
heat. The heat is getting to some of the masking tape, so certain things are coming
Oh,
undone. Um,
interesting.
so I
Okay.
am now dealing with problems that I didn't think I was gonna have, but you know,
And you know
we're
what? You're still
we're all
rolling with
here.
it. You're still rolling with it because that's what often happens. There are oftentimes environmental, issues in our environment that were unexpected that we have to,
Yep.
kind of troubleshoot within our process of creating, of building. And so you're definitely taking it all in stride, and
I
you're
appreciate it.
you're very aware. You're very aware of what you're dealing with, but you're still very much on the mark as to completing your project. And so you're unstoppable, Kate.
I
Unstoppable.
appreciate that. And I do want to tell everybody that this does take time because the work that you saw out here before I started working was already an hour.
Mm.
And that was just building the skeletal structure.
Ah.
And that wasn't even all the pieces. And I ended up making pieces that I didn't know I needed, like these front pieces right here.
Mm-hmm.
I was putting the two little wings together, but it looked a little 2D, excuse me, and it didn't give it any width. So it didn't look like it was a wing on the outside of the ship. It just looked like part of the ship was extended,
Okay.
which is not what we were going for.
Oh my gosh, there you are.
Yeah. As you can see, I did accomplish what I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
My partner, when I told him I was doing this today, he one-upped my challenge to myself of making something Star Wars related with. He's like, well, what if you can put your body inside of it?
Right.
And I always love a really difficult challenge. So I was like, why not? Why not? If I can crawl inside of it, that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've achieved that. That was half of the problem.
It also fits your hat. It fits you and your hat.
Which, I didn't plan on the hat fitting as well, but because it does, I think it's more impressive. I think we're going to say this is a win.
Yeah, it passes the hat test. Yeah.
And I'm having a little bit of so as you can see, it's a little top heavy.
Okay.
So I'm having a bit of an issue with the wind blowing
Right.
it into a shape that I don't want it
Uh-huh.
to. And this is constantly changing
And
because
what if the top wings, what if they're just kind of left down for the moment? Could you still work on it if you
I
just leave those
could.
down and leave it for like after when it's time to put them up?
I definitely could.
Mm.
My only thing is that there's a very specific silhouette I'm going for.
Okay, yeah.
And if the wings were to be down flat on the sides, you're not quite seeing
Right.
what
Right.
I'm hoping you see.
Right.
And
Well,
I
yeah.
believe
I mean-
if I count correctly, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is like 5 of these sizes. to make this so far.
Oh, wow.
So know
It took
that, yeah,
five of those.
so 5 of these split in half
Okay.
is making what you see
Is
right in
that,
front of you.
are you
So keep that in
are
mind.
you holding a sheet or is that a box? Okay, so that's
It's
a
a
whole,
flat box.
it's a whole box that's flattened.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
it's a flat box, which
Mm-hmm.
is crazy. It's just 2 sides. So I think this was used for paintings
Mm-hmm.
or something because it's very thin, as
Got
you
it.
can see.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just opened that up, and that's actually what is the base of the body. I
Yeah.
just figured that instead of trying to make my work harder for myself and make
Mm-hmm.
a body, why don't I just use this to make the body?
Mm-hmm.
Do half my job for me.
Right.
And as you can see, I'm still battling with wind. But we're gonna go on to painting.
Okay.
That's just something that's gonna be continuously a problem. Just is what it is, and you gotta roll with it.
Right. Well, I wonder if there is a way to prop up the wings.
I think there is. I could build more structure
Yeah.
on top of it.
Yeah.
But I know we want to get down to the fun painting part.
Okay. Yeah. And you got time. You got time. So don't
I
feel
do.
like you have to rush through anything.
do.
So you're good.
See,
You're good to go.
The thing is, though, is that painting seems like it won't take a long time,
Right.
but it's a challenge. I definitely know that painting the cardboard room for the anti-gala, I was there Monday through Friday for at
Yeah.
least 2 weeks painting
Oh,
for most of the day.
but the room looked
to complete that.
amazing. I remember
I appreciate
checking
that.
out the cardboard room at the anti-gala at Two-Bit Circus amusement park. I mean,
right.
that room was,
Shout out.
you're just like transported to this alternate reality of cardboard, and it was so cool. We had a photo booth. We had like
We
all
did.
these
Yes,
like
that's right.
working cameras, and
Yes.
and we actually brought a lot of those components of the original cardboard room from the amusement park here, and that's what you see behind me today. But
That's true.
But yeah, and so you did great work with that. I saw some of your artwork on some of the books in the book
I
collection.
appreciate that.
And
Those were my babies. I'm not even gonna lie. I have a very, very tight attachment to those books, considering how much time we spent together. And
Yeah.
I had the task of emulating some of the most iconic illustrators and
I saw the Dr.
painters.
Seuss. I saw the Cat in the Hat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one was crazy. The one that spooked me the most, if I'm going to be honest, was Roald Dahl style. He has a very specific artist that he goes to, and it's a lot of ink and paint. So it's kind of his style is similar to that of Dali. Where Dali used to paint exactly. So Dali used to paint big splotches of color, and then he would actually go back in with a pen to define those little characteristics that he needed. But it wasn't one medium, and it wasn't about the finer details. It was actually more about the overall feeling that you were trying to evoke from the piece.
Yeah.
So daunting task, but I was incredibly honored because I am a person who has many hats that I wear, but I love being able to explore all of them with the foundation and sharing it with all of you. Like today, this is so woefully out of my comfort zone.
Well, kudos to you for having the courage to step out of your comfort zone. Certainly many good things can come out of stepping out of one's comfort zone, and you're showing us today exactly what is possible. And like, I've never made a TIE fighter before, and that's so cool that you're making it life size. You can crawl into it. You have your own TIE fighter, and now you're painting it now. So you seem to have a lot of experience amongst many things, painting, drawing, visual art.
Yes.
What is your favorite medium to draw or paint or create in? Maybe you're into sculpture. Clearly you could be into sculpture as well.
I could so I was very fortunate to grow up with a mother who was a watercolor artist in her spare time. So she taught me one of the hardest mediums for any of those of you out there who have explored lots of art mediums. We all know that watercolor is extremely difficult. So
Yeah.
she let me play around with a lot of art supplies growing
Mhm.
up. And I was able to have the opportunity to, through my public schooling, get some wonderful art classes.
Mhm.
And I hope that that still stays the same and true to today for other children, because
Yes.
I learned how to sketch, I learned how to paint, I learned how to sculpt clay and
Mhm.
use a kiln for pottery. Um, in
Very
addition
cool.
to learning perspective. And,
Mhm.
you know, a lot of people like to forget that there's math in everything. And
Mhm.
as much as I like to not admit it, there's a lot of math in art,
Yeah. Well,
just with
Leonardo da
perspective.
Vinci had a lot to say about the math and art, right? And
Right. Yeah.
the was it the golden spiral
Yes.
and
The
all that?
Vitruvian Man, I think
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what one of them is called. And
Uh-huh.
he's actually somebody that highly, highly inspires me. I actually have a tattoo on my foot that is in honor of his style and his openness to the world around us, and seeing how we're all interconnected with the species and the universe, and how we have an innate curiosity for the things that inhabit this world with us. Um, but to answer your question, before I get too distracted, I have found that I love personally using ink. I'm an
Mm.
ink
You're an ink
sketch
gal.
girl.
Okay.
I'm an ink gal. That's right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
prefer using ink on white paper. I find that
Mm-hmm.
it gives it more of a dramatic graphic feel
Mm-hmm.
that is my personal aesthetic
Right.
and drawing style. Um,
Mm.
because I found that like pastels were a little too messy for me. Gouache was also a little too vibrant for my style. I'm not a big
Huh.
fan of crayons. I love coloring with them, but don't make
Yeah.
me make art out with crayons. It's very
We all
difficult.
had to start out with crayons, right?
We did, and melting them is one thing, but using them to create what you find is fine art. You know what? I will be very impressed to the person who does use crayon as their main
Mhm.
medium. I'm very impressed by you. Um, but
Crayon, yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely a very interesting. I mean, like people kind of dismiss it as like, oh, I'm not a kid anymore. Why do I need crayons? But it's so evocative to me because I grew up with different materials as well, and crayon was
right.
definitely a part of that, and all the lovely names for the colors in the crayon box, like sunflower
Yes, I love
blue
those.
and maize, and I just
Yes,
brick red. Um,
yes.
but yeah.
Tarragon red, yes, all those lovely ones. I love it, and like there is the importance of crayons too because of the particular texture that it gives. If you're
Mhm.
looking for a very specific look, you'll get it with a crayon. That's the important thing about exploring all mediums, is so that you know if you're trying to evoke a specific emotion or theme, you can pick the art style that works with it.
Mhm.
Um, so for it's because I've definitely had to create art evocative of much younger people than I am, 5 year olds for example. And I've typically gone to crayons and drawing outside the box and bigger paint strokes to evoke that sort of very out of the box, open minded, uninhibited uh, philosophy to drawing the world around them. And that's why I love looking at kids art, because it's
Yeah.
so groundbreaking, just because they don't have the hangups we do as adults.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
laugh.
I know, but it's true. It's really inspiring to see kids making stuff because they don't care. They're just doing it, and they're just so
Exactly.
enamored and taken by the process of the
Exactly.
making. So I love like seeing that as a reminder, of what we're all capable of, even if we're not kids anymore. So
Right. It's nice to try to keep yourself at least young at heart, or young in the mind, so that you can keep looking at the world in a different view. Because I would say one of my favorite memories facilitating for the foundation has been doing stop motion classes and watching what the kids come up with, and then comparing that to some of the uh, group work that I've done with different businesses when they're trying to do some team building, and watching adults get kind of troubled in the first stages of pre-planning, while
Hmm.
kids, they'll just run with an idea and then they won't stop until they run into a problem,
Yeah. And
versus me, who has to think through something and write it down and like hypothesize if there's a better way to
Mhm.
do it. Like
Right.
too many things.
Everyone has their own style of doing things. So it's
Right.
good to know yourself and to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I am taking a little bit of a towel break, just
Okay.
wiping my brow. It's a
Sure.
little
No
hot out
problem.
here.
Yeah. Dealing with the
Uh,
elements.
Dealing with the elements is another thing, and I'm also
Hmm.
finding that my paint is drying a lot
Ah.
faster, and the tape is coming apart.
Oh, wow.
So I think I'm gonna just
Yeah.
keep, yay! I think I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
painting, and then once I'm done with the paint job that I want,
Hmm.
I'll go back and
You can
retape,
go
because
back and troubleshoot and all that. Yeah.
yeah,
Of
nobody,
course.
there is no way
Hmm.
to
Because
do this. There's
also,
no like,
thinking about like paint having to dry and all that. And
yes.
yeah, so it definitely is part of a process. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why I'm out here instead of my kitchen art studio, is because I am making a mess. I know you can't see me very clearly, but my hands are just covered in paint right now.
Oh, how fun.
It's fun. No, I'm excited. I haven't gotten to explore this sort of work in a long time. So I'm excited to try to bring this ship to life, by using kind of bigger concepts. I'm a little bit of a fine detail person, so I find I get caught up sometimes. But because this is so large and I'm going for more of an 8-bit style, anyways, and that
Uh-huh.
particular style is evocative of just getting the general idea of something and not making it very specific to it, because of our inability of having as much technology access as we do now. So, things were in smaller bits, they were a little grainier to the
Hmm.
eye. So I'm going to try to lean into that and do big paint strokes that maybe are a little bit more impressive far away, a
Right.
little bit more of an impressionistic style
Yeah, you're going for
than up
impact.
close.
Yeah.
Impact, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
magical word I'm looking for.
I got
And
you.
I'm
Yeah.
also going to try to not attempt to paint the inside,
Oh.
because my body is going in there. And if we paint the inside, I'll
We're
just be
yeah.
covered in paint.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not exactly today's class. Or what the cardboard challenge is about. It's about
Hmm.
highlighting this cardboard. It's
Yeah.
about showing that it can be so many different things. And actually, I think on our streams, I know that for me at least, I have one coming up within this month, but I'll have another class that teaches you a different thing that you can do with cardboard. And if you're into astrology, it'll definitely be up your alley, because we'll be making an illuminated zodiac of your star sign.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah, I'm
fun.
excited. I'm excited. I don't put too much weight in astrology, but I like it every now and then just to have a good laugh.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Let's see, what else, what else, what else. Looks like we're just painting on this side. And also, as you can see with the paint job, it's giving it a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
There's not as much flatness. And that's
Hmm.
the thing about cardboard. Um,
Oh, I think the reception is a bit slow right now. Huh. Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Hello? Oh.
Here, you get back on camera. It's still streaming. Gorgeous. Get back on camera, yes.
I am?
Yes, please. Okay. Quickly. Now. Your mic's on too.
Hello. Okay. We back? Are we back? I think. Okay. Did we lose Kate?
Yes.
What happened there? Yeah, it looks like we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we're gonna. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're getting Kate back online right now. I have Brandon's working on it, and I have Sadie right here, keeping us right on track. Sadie is supervising, aren't you, Sadie? So how cool. Yeah, we're getting right back to Kate in just a moment. And she's building that Star Wars TIE fighter, based on Darth Vader's very own TIE fighter, but she is making it her own. And she's in the middle of painting. I can't wait to see where she is, how far along she is in her project. But yeah, she's created her very own life-size TIE fighter, where she could actually fit into the thing herself. So it's customized to her measurements, and she's now painting the TIE fighter and giving it her own spin. As an artist, she has a vision, and so I know we were battling the elements. She was battling the elements working outside on her balcony at home, and dealing with the sun, the heat, the wind, and really, actually a great example of how to troubleshoot and how to just keep on going and not letting, issues or problems stop you while you're in your creative process. So she's definitely doing a great job with, building her TIE fighter and making it into a really cool project. So we're about to connect with her very soon, but let's see what's Maya. Yeah, you remember Sadie, right? But yeah, definitely please continue to stand by. Let's see. I know Kate is amazing. She's still going, and she has such a great attitude. And really, I want to actually say something about mindset and how, when you go into a project, when you start something, it always does help to have a positive mindset. And so that when you do have to deal with, certain issues or, bumps along the road in your process, you are well prepared and in that kind of mind space, head space, where, you know what? Okay, this is what it is, and I accept it. It's happening now. She's totally yes, I accept the heat is melting the glue of the masking tape on the TIE fighter. She's like, okay, I get it. All right, I'm just going to keep on going, and maybe I'll come back and fix it later, So I think she is a shining example of having that kind of mindset.
I miss you.
Oh, there she is. There
sorry.
she is.
I forgot, instead of just me dying, my phone would die out here in the heat.
Right.
Because that happened.
Oh, the phone died. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, cool.
The phone died of the heat.
The phone didn't like the heat. That was an unexpected issue, but yeah, we're coming back now. We don't have you. So Kate, we can hear you. We don't have you back on screen just yet. We're about to.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about it. Just keep doing your thing.
I'll do my thing.
Yeah. We're working on getting you back on screen.
I appreciate
but
it.
We can definitely hear you, and I'm glad to know that you're alive and well.
The Empire didn't take me back. I didn't get hit by Darth Vader for stealing his idea. I didn't pay anybody copyright for this today.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's a whole other thing, but don't let that stop you.
No, I'm not letting it stop me at all. But yeah, I guess I forgot that I wasn't the only one who was going to melt in this heat. I forgot that my
Oh.
phone would also get affected by it, which
Mm-hmm.
meant that your viewership would get affected by it.
Aha.
But we're back.
We're
We're
back.
here. It's still hot.
Yeah. Yes.
So what I'm trying to figure out now is how to troubleshoot with the heat, because I think the
Mm-hmm.
cardboard has expanded just a little bit and the tape
Hmm.
has continued to melt in
Okay.
a way that I'm not too happy with.
Right. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well,
So
okay.
we're trying to figure it out.
And I think we're coming back live with Kate
Oh,
on
cool.
screen.
All right, I'm here. I'm still
Yeah.
working. Still working. Still figuring it out. Everybody in my little apartment complex can hear me chit-chatting away with you guys.
That's, I maybe they can learn something.
You know what? I hope so. I mean, this isn't something that I do too normally out here on my balcony. So
Mhm.
this is definitely once in a full moon.
Mhm. Well, you know what I was talking about while you were offline, Kate,
Hmm.
is I was
Yes.
talking about mindset and how, you're a great, you're a great example of a positive mindset going into a project like, okay, I have these limitations, but you know what? Yay. Like, but
Yes.
then, meeting challenges along the way, like, oh, okay, yeah, I didn't realize. And I really appreciate you being honest and frank about, the elements that you're dealing with. And yeah, I didn't expect the heat. I didn't expect that the heat would affect the masking tape and the cardboard and that there's wind,
Yup.
and so,
None of these things.
but you're allowing yourself to acknowledge the
Well, I
challenges.
used to honestly have a problem with my own as a recovering perfectionist, as
Yeah.
we've said.
Uh-huh.
I've struggled a lot with meeting my very high expectations for myself, and I used to get frustrated and angry a lot when I had plans for something and then it wasn't going that way at all, and I would get upset that what is the use of planning if it wasn't going to go this way anyways. And I found out that adapting to change or being open to other ideas was very challenging for me. So I then started to practice just the ideas of happy accidents.
Mhm.
Mistakes are not something that we really need to bog ourselves down for. We actually
Right.
need to celebrate our mistakes,
Mhm.
because I have learned so much more by failing and falling on my face than I ever have by getting praised for something, doing it right the first time, because I didn't learn anything. I just figured out I could do it fast, which is not learning.
Right. Right.
So I find that if you can I'm dealing with all sorts of new happy accidents right now. If you can reframe your mentality, it makes these challenges a lot easier. And also, don't get down on yourself for being angry or mad or frustrated. We're all going through a very different and challenging time. So there's a lot of things that we should give ourselves a little bit of grace for, and a little bit of space to be like, well, this isn't exactly how I wanted my 2020 to go, but I'm here and I'm going to try to make the best out of what I can. I don't necessarily mean lemonade out of lemons, but whatever citrus they throw your way, try to make it
Grapefruit.
delicious.
um, I totally wholeheartedly second that notion of making the most of your time. I mean, 2020 has been like such a crazy year so far for many of us, and like, wow,
Yeah.
this is not how I envisioned the year
Nope.
to be. But, certainly, getting creative, making use of your time, doing things that maybe you haven't done before, that you've always been
Yeah.
curious about doing, like
Yes.
building a cardboard TIE fighter.
Yes.
That's so cool. Like, how
All of
often,
these things.
do you think you would have, like, if life was normal, so to speak,
Uh-huh.
normal,
Right.
do you think you would have made the time to create a life-size TIE fighter out of cardboard?
No, if I'm being completely honest, no. And I could say that to a lot of the skills that I have
Mhm.
learned and started possessing during this time. I shared my bread baking journey with you all, and that has been something that I've
Oh,
been leaning into this time. And
right.
I've never done that before, but now I'm into baking sourdough loaves and wheat
Mhm.
loaves. I love baking in general. I've also found that this time has also given me the time to really do those activities that we keep telling ourselves, like, oh, maybe I should do this like just for fun to keep
Mhm.
my chops up with acting or painting or whatever it may be. Oh, that does not work because I needed water. Okay. Um, and I found that this time, if we can use it in that kind of productive and healing manner, when
Mhm.
we can. And I'm not saying every day is going to be like very productive. I'm very grateful that today was a sunny day and I woke up, feeling really good and really energized to do this. But I would say that my TIE fighter might have been different if I woke up a little differently this morning. And that's all okay too. Like, I'm
Mhm.
all about positivity and productivity as well. But I also don't want that positivity to accidentally turn toxic,
Mm. Right.
because there is balance to all of this.
Mhm.
And even I know that, you know with as many people have said in their own way, how can you see the sunlight if you don't know what darkness is?
Well, and one way to stay positive in the healthy side of the spectrum would be acknowledging. I mean, acknowledging the challenges and acknowledging that,
Right,
hey, okay, maybe this isn't so easy, but you
right.
know what? Maybe I have it in me to keep at it, you know?
Yeah. And
So,
also know when you've had enough, so like understand your own boundaries, and
that's enough.
understand when that's enough for you as well. Like,
Mm.
there's nothing worse than I actually, well, I have a weird story, but
Oh,
I
cool.
actually fell out of love with acting because I was starting to feel pressure in ways that I wasn't comfortable with, I
Mm.
wasn't happy with. And I found that I started resenting any sort of audition or any ask that I would get if I had to act,
Oh,
um, which was very
interesting.
painful. And for the longest time, I thought it was because like I just was a horrible actor and I just didn't want to do it anymore. But I found that what really was the issue is that I had a bit of a toxic positivity relationship with it. As
Mm.
in, like, I just mean that I had different expectations than what it really does mean to audition and to love the craft of acting. And I
Mm.
had lost my way because of, different circumstances or whatever was around me. But
Mm.
then I had the very great honor to audition for Babes with Blades West before this all went down. And
Babes
I
with blades.
found, yes, I love them. Babes with Blades
What?
West. Shout out to Dawn and her team. They're a company of women that I'm a part of that we sometimes specialize in productions that have to deal with women who do some sort of stage combat or fighting of some kind. I
Oh,
love them.
awesome.
Super amazing, talented, superhero like women.
That
But
sounds
I had the
amazing.
pleasure to audition for them, and I rekindled my love for acting because
Uh-huh.
I found that, um, I was framing it differently. I've grown, I've
Hmm.
changed, and I've found the love again. And sometimes you got to walk away from something
Yeah,
and come back to it.
I agree.
Um, like I did today. I literally walked away from this TIE fighter for an hour to watch Kane, and then I came back because I'm not even gonna lie. If I was tackling this for 2 hours straight, Tora, I'd probably be losing my marbles a little bit.
Oh, gosh. I mean, and Kane is such a great inspiration, too.
He is.
Um,
He's super talented.
yeah, and he just, like he kind of built this empire out of cardboard.
Yes. Yes.
It sounds
Essentially.
unbelievable, but like at such a young age and
Mm-hmm.
the kind of resilience that takes. I mean, I think like, being an adult comes um with its own set of concerns and responsibilities
Sure.
and all that.
Yeah.
But imagine being a kid and then having all this stuff happen in your life and like
So crazy.
and still growing up, and I mean, he's a young man now, but he's still
He
being
is.
true to himself. And
Yes.
there is still this fearlessness where he's not overthinking things. He's sort of just like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm just going to keep making things out of cardboard. I'm going to go into space with my cardboard, you know? Like,
I love it.
So I love that spark of inspiration because it just sparks
Yes.
us all to be,
Yes.
persistent and courageous and really follow our own light of interests and passion and love, So,
Exactly.
so just like your
And-
story about, coming back to acting. And really, sometimes you just need to take a break. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sometimes you just need to take a break.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to leave that be because I just need to take a break before I start like bending it or,
Yeah.
throwing a Godzilla tirade out here in front of you all. You don't need to see that. That's unprofessional.
Are you you're feeling a bit frustrated right now?
I am, and that's been something that I've been trying to practice and recognize within myself, and acknowledges that it's okay to get frustrated.
Yeah.
That probably means that you need to look at the problem a different way, and you need to stop doing what you think is easy, or the same thing over and over again because it's not working. Sometimes it's just a reminder for me to be like, okay, I've tried the same thing 5 times and I keep wondering why it's not working. Maybe I should stop trying that same thing.
Right. Yes, I've heard about that before. Yeah.
I'm just very grateful. Speaking back to what you were saying about Kane being an inspiration before, I'm just so grateful that we have the pleasure of working with sponsors like Vans and AT&T and this cardboard challenge to bring this on a wide network to the rest of you, because I think we're on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube right now all simultaneously, and that's wonderful. I can't wait to see our friends that are not in LA. I want to see what other people want to do, because we all kind of know that we want to make, we have a very specific California style.
Yep.
And it'll be really interesting to see what other people find right now is relevant to them.
Maybe
I mean,
they need to make cardboard umbrellas.
Ooh. You know what? This hat is not working for me, and I actually have a fan that I plugged in out here too.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, if you can come up with a cardboard invention to keep me cool while I'm building cardboard out here, I will be forever grateful.
Maybe we can, set up a cardboard tarp or
Cardboard tarp.
igloo.
Yes, exactly.
Cardboard igloo. Anyone?
Nobody wants to hop on that idea. A little too harsh right now. Woo! So I am dealing with a little bit of wind, but it looks like we have sort of dealt with a problem.
Oh.
She says as she catches a piece of it. Oh,
I think it's happening.
I think it's happening. It's staying for certain minutes.
Mm-hmm. So you did you say you put tape on the top there, but it melted off?
Well, it seems to be that this masking tape in particular is just not. I really should have gone with gaffing tape or not Scotch tape.
Yeah.
Like electrical tape, just something like more heavy duty.
Yeah. And to be fair, there are different kinds of masking tape.
There are.
Yeah, because I've definitely had my share of working with masking tape, and it's just, there's like a whole spectrum of the glue.
There is, and this one I think is more of the masking tape that is for packages. So it's holding in certain ways great, and it's this wind. It's this occasional gust of wind that is killing me right now. I can see it. But I'm kind of enjoying this paint job so far. I like the color scheme. It's a little brighter than our typical TIE fighter would be.
Did you paint the sides as well?
I did.
Okay.
I will bring you over to see it in a minute. I'm just making sure that this all stays up before I come bring you guys over. But I'm coming over. Come grab y'all.
Yay.
Take a little trip with me on my balcony.
Mm-hmm.
So front, don't know how well we can see that.
Yeah.
But that's the front end. And then we've got this side.
All right. Bold strokes.
We've got the
Bold
top.
strokes.
Wings. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's a larger piece. So
Uh-huh.
if I got a little too nitty gritty with the detail work for this particular piece right now, it wouldn't read.
Right.
That's the other thing you have to keep in mind,
Yeah.
is that what scale are you working with, and is
Mm-hmm.
it going to um, is your detail work going to be even read? Because sometimes you might end up doing some detail work for over an hour, and then you look at it from the distance you're supposed to, and nothing.
Well,
You see nothing.
so what were some of the thoughts you had when deciding on the colors that you use for your paint?
Well, I like purple. Purple
Mm-hmm.
is known as a power color. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually known, seen with royalty. It's
Mm-hmm.
also, our two primary colors of blue and red mixed together. I've always been a blue girl. I have very strong feelings about the ocean and water in general. So blue is always my go-to color, and I always like things in threes personally, but I do like mixing up colors in threes.
Mm-hmm.
So I added white in here to give it a bit of something lighter, to contrast the blue. And really, the purple is mainly used for the outline because it's the darker color
Nice, nice
without being
save. Nice
black.
save.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying here. So many elements to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I probably wouldn't be struggling this hard if I was building it inside my living room
Right.
where it's a little bit more temperature controlled. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not about this today. This is
Yeah.
about making it as homey and as real life as possible.
Oh yes. Exactly. You're definitely holding it down, Kate.
I thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. So it looks like we're good to go, and let's see if I can kind of like scooch backwards into this thing. Boop. All right. All right.
There she
We're getting
goes.
there. There we go. And I am in.
Woo! She's in her TIE fighter.
I am.
The
And I'm
Kate TIE
actually much
fighter.
cooler. I'm much cooler in here than I am out in the sun.
It looks like it has some natural air conditioning going on.
It
Yeah.
does. There's a little bit of a breeze from the
Yeah.
fan in the
I
tunnel.
know.
So I've got a little bit of flying hair energy going on.
You're protected from the elements.
I am. Although I feel a little bit like those horses on the horse-drawn carriages with the blinders on the side, because my peripheral vision is just blocked.
Well, maybe, as you upgrade your project, like, Kane is going to upgrade his guitar, and then
Right.
maybe you can add like a periscope or some kind
Oh,
of,
that would be smart. That
tool
would be
for
nifty.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
originally I was going to make a doorway, but that seems to be a little bit more trouble than I really want it to be. So periscope sounds like a good idea, because I already feel like I'm flying when I lay down in this,
yeah. How very
ship.
cool.
Because I've got a little bit of a wind tunnel, so it's giving me that breeze of momentum forward. So I think a periscope will be a great idea. Or maybe a way to keep these wings up.
I love the idea that you feel like you're flying when you're in
I
your
do.
TIE fighter, which would not be possible if you were building it inside your living room without the
that's
elements.
very true. Absolutely. And it's really just the happy accident of the fan being placed where it is and the breeze being where it is today, that I happen to just catch those winds. It's very odd. As much as I complain about the periphery being cut in here, it actually keeps up that sensation of flight,
Yeah.
because I am laying on the ground. But with these two little big blinders on the side, it doesn't seem that way.
That actually, what you just said reminds me of one of the games at Two-Bit Circus Amusement Park, the flying game.
Yes,
It's like the
Birdly.
single person. Is that what it's called? Birdly? And you're
It's
just
called Birdly. Yes.
flying.
So
Wow.
I don't know if I told anybody on this stream, but I used to work for the park before I worked for the foundation. So if you have any park questions, I'm your girl.
Mm-hmm.
I know that place inside out. There's so many wonderful things to explore there, and I can't wait until we open back up again for the general public.
I'm actually looking right now at the chat board, and there's some talk about, as soon as they are able, they'll be opening Two-Bit Circus Amusement Park downtown.
Wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, Andy and Ian, they're missing the monthly cardboard challenges at Two-Bit
Yes.
Circus Amusement Park. And
That's right. That's right. When we're back all together again, we actually throw these cardboard challenges at the micro amusement park, and you can build with us in person. And that way you don't have to harvest your own cardboard. We'll
you can
harvest
just show
it
up
for you.
Yeah.
You can just show up. Yeah, and we'll give you the space and the tools, and one of us will be there, a facilitator of some kind, and we'll help you out. And it's a really nice community activity. And then guess what, Mom and Dad, you get to play in this amusement park afterwards and like share lunch. We have food there too. There's it can be a really nice weekend out because it's usually on Sundays, if I'm right.
A great Sunday activity for the whole family.
Yeah, Sunday or Saturdays, but it's usually on a weekend, so it's a good activity for everybody involved. And where it's welcome for all ages. I don't think there really is an age cap on this at all. You can be a baby and have some extra helping hands with some of the harder stuff, and you can be 100 and still be doing this. That's I think more activities like this that are a little bit more multi-generational is really excellent right now for us, especially when we don't have to go out and buy things.
Yeah, you're really touching upon the idea of community and really coming together, even in times of isolation. The fantastic community that we have at Two-Bit Circus is now online, and so
that's right.
We can
you are so right, Tora.
Continue growing our community online on this. On new platforms, even because Twitch is a new platform, relatively new platform for us, and it's really such an expansion of our mission and our original vision, which is to bring creative play to kids, to people, to families, to communities, and really building and strengthening community around creativity and play and imagination. And so really, while we do hope and pray that, Two-Bit Circus Micro Amusement Park reopens in the near future safely and healthily, we definitely have a lot of resources online to come together as a community and make stuff. We have our videos, and you also host a lot of live streams.
I am. I was like, they're going to be so sick of me at the end. They're going to see my face like on everything. But we do have our live streams, our playful learning streams every morning, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 11. And we go through our playbook, which I don't know if you know, Torin, but it's for free on our website, www.twobitcircus.org. You can find our playbooks on there, and you can follow along. And I believe there are kits that were also
we do have kits that I know that they were being put together, the kits for sale.
Like project kits.
Yeah, we do have project kits that people can order online.
Woohoo! See, we do have some. Go get you some.
Well, we're building the kits. We're the quarantine has sort of slowed things down as far as producing like actual materials goes, but we have that in the works, and we definitely do have the playbook on twobitcircus.org, as you mentioned.
Yes.
And it's for free. You can download it. Anyone can download the playbook for free.
That's right. We have to thank Vans for that.
Yes, we have to thank Vans for that. Thank you, Vans, for making that possible. Being real facilitators in creating community and creating play.
100%. Vans has been so wonderful, and just, their cardboard box that they put their shoes in, that's a part of the cardboard challenge already. They didn't even know it.
I want to show
that box and make it something different.
I want to show right now. I am inspired to show. Can I do this? Do I have enough?
Please show the shoes.
The shoe. I'm going to show the Vans shoe. Hold on.
The shoe. Yeah, show them the shoe. It's a pretty epic shoe.
No, right above it.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. And there's a switch on the back.
Oh my goodness, this is so cool. All right.
Okay, so show the epic shoe.
All right, I'm back here in our cardboard studio. I have this fabulous This is so cool. Did you make this, Kate? I wonder who made this.
Is it a shoe? I didn't make any shoes, unfortunately. I was all
Okay.
tapped out of creativity by that point.
You needed time to rejuvenate and regenerate.
I did.
But
I did.
this is a very true to life Vans shoe that is made out of cardboard and paper. And look, it looks like the artist made the logo right. That came correct. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. And so we have Van shoe number 1. And then we have this Van shoe. Let me hand that off to you. Oh, and this one, as Brandon is telling me, is, and as you can see, it is wired. It is, wait, let's see. What's that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is a switch. So I'm going to show you. Okay, before you see it all in its glory. So you see the shoelaces. It says off the wall. That's very Vans. And Vans off the wall. Here is how off the wall this is. I'm going to hit the switch. And
So
you
off the wall.
have the tie turning. How fun. Look at what you can make. Isn't that fun? So
See, that's the thing, is that so many things can be made out of cardboard.
yeah. So, and you know, all you have, this creator just added a switch, connected some wires, and you know, used a 9-volt battery, and there's a motor here housed in this motor kit that spins the shoelaces. So I mean, and this is what you call a complete circuit. It's a circuit and it works. How cool is that? So yeah.
We're
Yay.
making electrical tips. We're doing philosophy tips. This isn't just
Yeah.
a cardboard challenge. We're giving you everything.
Oh yeah, we're covering we're running the gamut. Yes. This is like a whole semester's worth of like, you know, the core curriculum.
We're giving them a sneak peek into our philosophy and a little bit of everything that we do.
Yeah, I want to
And
give
who we are.
I want to give a shout out to Justin. Maya said Justin is the one who made that circuit and that
Justin!
shoe, that cardboard shoe, Van shoe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Justin's super mega talented. If you don't know his work, you should check out the. You might know him from the. We used to do a just in case escape room that we made.
Oh, cool.
That people could participate in at the Anti Gala, and Justin was a big part of that. He is the Justin of Just in Case.
Justin is also the director of innovation at
That is
Two-Bit
right.
Circus Foundation.
So all of us wear all sorts of hats.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen when we put our minds together and our imaginations
true.
together. So
This is very
really
true.
a call to community and creating. So there was what else did I want to say? I was like so taken by that Vans moment.
Oh, it's so wonderful. It just makes me think of that happy little holiday celebration we had at the end of last year, and we all gave each other
that was
gifts
fun.
that we made. That was super fun.
It was kind of like a secret Santa, I recall,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
everyone made something at home and brought what they made, like wrapped it in, in holiday wrap, and brought what they made to the foundation, and we got to pick names out of a hat, right?
That's right.
So yeah, we got. Well, I remember I got.
What'd you get?
It's funny. Okay. Yes, I remember, Maya. It was a Starbucks gift card
Ooh.
on a card holder built out of Legos.
Oh my goodness! Please tell me you're using that card holder.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds
the
amazing.
card did not live on the card holder for very long.
Ah, good, good. I think I got a basket full of little jars and other things. The basket I've kept in my car. It's wonderful. Um,
Oh,
always can use
yeah,
a good basket. The one I was
yeah.
super envious of, and our the wonderful Mindy was the person who made it, but the Albert Einstein
Oh,
made
that
out of the
it was like,
bricks.
yeah, bricks. And was there macaroni involved too? I know there was paint.
I thought it was
I
just
think there was
bricks.
paint involved, but yeah, it was a really that like iconic picture of
Yes, 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 yes.
Einstein, and it was so like beautifully rendered, like faithfully rendered with
Yes,
bricks. So
yes.
a very cool portrait made by Mindy, our
So
director
talented.
of operations. Yep.
Yes. We're
Yeah.
just full of talented
We
people here.
have
Not to toot
such,
our own horn.
yeah, we have the best team ever. So, best staff, best team of volunteers who
Yes. Oh
really,
my gosh.
I mean,
Without them, our anti-gala would not have happened.
they are our essential workers. And so, really creating, of course, this space, the Cardboard Studio here at
Mm-hmm.
Foundation, also at the Anti Gala at the Two Bit Circus Micro Amusement Park. And so,
Yep.
really, we are so blessed to have a team that, even in isolation, we all continue to work together and make creative play happen.
Which
So,
I love. I love. I love. I've been loving just being able to have a reason to put like makeup on and talk to other people that aren't my roommate or my cat once a week. It's been a real honor and it's been a real treasure to come to you guys once a week
right.
on this channel. And we can only hope that we just keep expanding from here.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that, Kate, because
Ooh.
you've absolutely been killing it online with your live streams, and we're going to we have like a whole slate of live streams coming at the world,
This is
with
right.
our with our continued expansion of creative play offerings.
That's
So
right.
we'll be live streaming more projects, more IRL projects, and I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this.
Are you
If I'm
giving
allowed to
secrets?
talk.
Trade
Yeah,
secrets
yeah.
away?
Well, let's just say it will be wholly connected to imagination and creative play, how to do things that I know a lot of people are probably, if they're not doing it already, are very
Uh-huh.
curious about how to do some of these creative things, right?
Ooh,
And
true.
so we are definitely working on bringing a wealth of knowledge and expertise and fun, to expanding your own, mindset of creativity.
Mhm.
Whether the viewers want to, whether you want to follow along like step by step, or just take notes, or just like be with us in a group community of creative play. It's really exciting
Mhm.
what we have coming up. So definitely everyone stay tuned to at 2bitcircus.org on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and all the socials. And we definitely have a lot more. We have more Kate to come too with her.
This is true.
With her future live streams as well. So very exciting stuff.
I'm definitely pumped. I've got some things in the backs of my sleeves that I'm very excited to share, hopefully eventually with you all. And hopefully more of you, Tora. I think we're gonna have you on these streams too.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I hear talk about this. Yes. There are things that I can contribute as well. Rather than, in addition to emceeing, which I love, I love this gig and I love interfacing with everyone on the live stream. But yeah, so like our team is so talented. Like, because again, like getting into, life changing, into quarantine time, and really looking
Yes.
within and seeing what resources do I have? What do I have to give to the world? What, because
Yes.
we're all relating to each other in different ways, ways that we haven't related to each other before, and so
Mhm.
really, it's this metamorphosis time. We're all in our cocoons, and we're like emerging now, bringing more to the table. And
Yeah.
so like for me personally, I've thought about, oh, okay, what do I have to give? I definitely have my own, whoop, there's my coffee cup. I have my own background in the arts, and in visual and performing arts, and music and all that, and filmmaking. So
Isn't it funny that we all have multiple like creative streams? Like creatives
yeah.
are never just one.
Well,
We're many.
especially, yeah, nowadays you are almost expected to be able to wear different hats and
This is not a
to
lie.
yeah, we have like, I've far expanded beyond like my own expectations of myself in my life.
Oh, same. I never thought
But
I would be a video editor, but lo and behold, I have
exactly.
that skill now.
Yeah, and how amazing, having insight into editing and how that can change a story. How you can tell a story
Absolutely.
just from editing. And
Yeah.
so, like the editing award, at the Academy Awards is no joke.
Mhm.
Like that's
It really isn't.
and you really grow an appreciation for the work that editors do. And also when you're working on your own projects, you have a sense of, okay, I'm not completely in the dark about this, and I could edit this if I want, but also having the option to hand it off to an editor, but just like really being able to, because I think, here at Two Bit Circus, we all bring so much to the table. We all have like, it's kind of, gobstopping how like, all the talents that everyone like,
I don't
oh,
disagree
like
with you.
we're all like, pulling rabbits out of a hat, and
Yes.
like, I
Yes,
didn't
it
know you
definitely
could
feels
do
like that
that.
sometimes.
Wow, how cool. Yeah.
It's awe-inspiring. I love being in a work environment that is not only inspirational to me, the environment itself, but also the people I work with. I can't say enough good things about any of our team members, whether it be from like Dr. Leah Haynes to Dr. Dejana to Smita, Maya, Dustin,
Mhm.
Daisy, Mindy,
Woohoo.
Gonzalo, Brandon. I could really say everybody. Tito, Elizabeth, like all these wonderful people. I'm constantly inspired by them, and I'm constantly feeling the support from them. And I can't say how much support is worth to a creative in general.
It's
Um,
invaluable. Yeah.
it's
Priceless.
really something that, yeah, it's priceless to us.
Mhm.
Those of us who love to create, support is priceless.
Yeah.
No matter whether you can do that monetarily or not,
Right.
it's really not about that. It's actually more about the emotional and
Mhm.
vocal support. So, I think the more that we can encourage our younger minds around us to do more, as long as it's not hurting themselves or others,
Mhm.
I think that's a great opportunity for us to grow into something better while we're having this time to reflect, especially since a lot of parents are becoming teachers for the first time right now.
More
We can
power
really
to
take,
them. Those
yeah, no,
parents.
seriously,
It's
because
not
I'm
an easy,
teaching.
not an easy job.
No, I watch Dejana and Michael every
Mhm.
week on our stream, and I see how much work they put in with their own children, and I can only imagine what that's like. I don't have firsthand experience, but it's just wonderful that we're all getting this time together to explore these different hats that we didn't have, and have a newfound appreciation for the hard work that these individuals do on a regular basis. I feel like we forget that from time to time.
Brandon and I were just talking about this the other day about how, because we saw this commercial that, oh, they filmed that commercial like during quarantine. So,
Right.
like all the actors, were like filming their
Right.
own portions of the commercial.
Right.
And it was very like focused on mothers. And yeah, mothers like definitely, you know, they have a lot on their plate.
Oh, like
and
like
a lot of
if
them
I
are
could
working
apologize,
too.
right? If I could apologize to the mother for the amount of time that I made her want to pull out her own hair, I would.
Yeah, I know
You know,
Mother's
all
Day is coming up.
parents. Oh, that's right. That's this
Yep,
weekend. So
yep,
yes, if you don't have,
this Sunday.
you know what? Why not try to hit two birds with one stone? Try to use your cardboard challenge today to create your Mother's Day gift. My mother
Indeed.
lives in Texas, so I
Right,
can't ship her this.
right. Well,
So I'm gonna go to Plan B.
and that plan B would be something equally creative or even more creative of your own, making. So,
You
yeah.
know, the honestly, for me, the best gifts that I have received from my mother, because she's a painter, is she has hand painted me some birthday cards, and I've kept some of those for a really long time. And I would say that that's probably my favorite gift out of anything I've been given by her.
Oh,
Um,
your mom
so
sounds like she's a very talented lady herself.
she's, you know, I have to be very grateful for the fact that I grew up in a home with a creative. You know, despite having challenges of my own, I'm not going to say that I didn't. It was really nice to have a parent who was like really into singing and dancing and art and stuff, and making sure that I was well rounded, not only academically, but creatively. Because having this ability, and that's why we emphasize A so much at the foundation, is because the A in STEAM, which stands for art, gives
Yes.
Students the ability to think about critical thinking and creative thinking, about looking at a situation a different way, maybe not by the book, maybe in a different form
Thinking
that they can
outside the
understand it.
box. Right.
Right, exactly. And that's how we get innovation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
it's not
true.
stealing if it's innovation, because you literally improved that other person's idea. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
sort of collaboration that we need to lean into, versus the whole like, well, it's my idea
Right.
and it should be mine
Well,
and my own thing.
ideas are ideas. Nobody really owns an idea. I mean, you could trademark it and like make it your own, but ideas really flourish and develop and
Right.
grow when there's maybe more than one perspective involved. And
Oh
going
yeah.
going back to community, I had said how there's so much collective talent in our Two Bit Circus Foundation community,
Hmm.
but I also want to, give a shout out to the entire Two Bit Circus community. To
Oh my
um,
gosh.
y-
Yes.
yes, everyone downtown, to
Yes.
our community, to the families who we see
Yes.
as part of our family, and
Hmm.
really, I mean, we've gotten a lot of great ideas from parents too. Like, oh, I love what
Absolutely.
you're doing. What if you tried this? Or how can I help? And so it's
Absolutely.
just bringing communities and minds together, people with different perspectives, as well as skills and talents to share and to contribute. And so, we don't leave anyone out
Nope.
here at Two Bit Circus. We,
Nope. It's
yeah.
all about joining in. It's not about excluding. It's about
Hmm.
how can we make this even more fun now that you're here, because you're special and unique innately, because you are
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
And what can you bring that is so
Right.
innately you that we can't think of? And I love
Mhm.
that, because there's constantly things that I learned from my coworkers.
Yeah, and it's so eye-opening too. Like, we have a space for you, because
Yes,
like
yes.
we are so much about community, and also, there is something to say about you know, being involved with, in the field of technology.
Yes,
And
we've come so far, and that's why I'm a big fan of your shout out earlier to Two Bit Circus Corporation,
mhm,
our big family head. They've been on the cutting edge of technology since who knows when.
yep,
It's definitely
exactly.
their MO, and it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to take this entity that has been seen as scary, with ideas like Y2K and other things like
Mhm.
that, and really show how it can be a positive impact
Right.
on furthering our species and our knowledge.
And they really, on the corporate side, because there's so much involved with gaming and virtual reality, and really stepping into just like that razor's edge of the future,
Mhm.
you know? And so like
Yeah.
being firmly here in the now, but stepping into the future always. And they do it like it's so fun. It's
Yes.
so fun.
That's
You
the
know?
thing. I think that is so unique about us is that I know STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, can be dry for some people, but I have never felt that way about our community here at 2-Bit. We make it fun. Like that's our big emphasis on fun because I feel like you don't learn if you don't have fun. It's harder to learn, at least. I know it is for me. It's harder for me to learn if I hate something.
Right.
But if I'm having fun, it's easy.
Yeah, you open your mind like a parachute, you know, when you're having fun.
Exactly. And I've watched that happen. I've had the pleasure of being with us for a little bit over a year now, and I watched so many minds be able to open up and explore new ideas at our summer camp last year, which was so much fun.
Ooh,
And I've seen that at our local libraries when we weren't physically distancing. That's what I love about us is that we're all so different, but there's we hold innate value for all of our differences, which is just so peachy. Like I'm just tickled pink. I really am.
Yeah, innate value is a very good term. That's I want to look at that because we all have innate value, and
That's correct. Yes.
And sometimes it's hard to recognize that even within ourselves.
Absolutely, you're preaching to the choir here.
If we're just in our own bubble. And of course, recent times it's a little harder to be like out and about in the community, but like, there are still resources such as 2-Bit Circus.org, and 2-Bit Circus like online, where it's really something to be a part of a community where they can show you, they can kind of mirror your innate value and point out, hey, you know what? You have something to offer. And why don't you bring that out? Let's see more of you, and sometimes we really need, we need others to bring out the best in us,
Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how much I would beg for an extra pair of hands right now.
I wish I could help you with that, Kate.
It's okay. I know we're all appropriately social distancing, but yeah, like the emphasis on community, it really is about the fact that we are much more stronger when we play together than when we play apart. And I've seen that every step of the way, from when I worked at the park to when I go to the foundation, even the way that we've developed games at the park that are our own. There is a sense of collaboration and the value in understanding that because people are different, that is how we can grow and develop in positive ways, as if we recognize those differences and lean into them and let that person flourish.
Right. Yes.
Because I can tell you now, I can't build a guitar like Kane, but I tried to tackle this thing.
Oh. Yeah, and you didn't grow up building cardboard TIE fighters, but you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyway. And so you're in your process, you're making it happen, and it doesn't have to be like anyone else's creation, so you're really
I think structurally I might be done with this one. I'm just looking to see like what, I know it's falling apart a little bit, but part of me is like, well, now that we have the time and I've technically successfully done this, what if we pull it apart and make something else with all these parts? I'm up to a continuous challenge.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm making, so I have some pentagonal pieces.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Ship shape. Oh, it's in the shape of like a pentagon. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a couple of those pieces. So if I move them up in the correct manner, since I have 4, I could make a house.
Yes.
In theory. So let's turn this ship into a house, because I believe you have about 30 more minutes with me or something like that.
Looks like we have almost 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So in this last 20
Woo!
minutes with me, I'm going to take this apart like I have.
Kate is
I
making
know.
some radical changes, radical
Let's
moves.
see if I can do something different. Well, I
She's
mean,
making
I was
moves.
getting a little frustrated and
Uh-huh.
bored with that one. So the best thing to do is start again. Never be
Mhm.
afraid to start again.
Or
And I've been afraid of that my whole life.
oh, well, I don't even see it as like necessarily starting again. You're just continuing your process.
This is true. It's just changing.
Exactly. And I mean, I really love this idea of repurposing or like recalibrating your vision. So you're taking into consideration, oh, the environment, okay, the wind, okay, the sun, and these are the materials that I have, and I've done this so far. Maybe I can make it better. And you don't have to limit yourself to an original vision, but it can be something greater than the original vision,
Oh, absolutely. I'm
So,
about to build myself a little small sun shelter out here. So I'm thinking this is better than the TIE fighter already. Because I can make a little cozy little nook over here. Let's see.
Something that will protect you from the elements.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Something
Yes.
sturdy as long as it doesn't rain. It doesn't rain here too often in LA.
But see, you're taking the pieces that you have and you're seeing what works. You're playing with the pieces you have, and your mind is like I had mentioned before, and Maya brought it up again, is your mind is like a parachute when it's open. So, you're floating through the air. You're still airborne and flying, and you can kind of even control the direction in which you're going.
Oh yeah, I don't think creativity, ever stops. I do think that it can get uninspired. I've definitely had my fair share of that.
Mhm.
But I think we're constantly inspired by whatever we take in. We're such visual creatures, that everything we see in one way, whether or not we recognize it, shapes us. It inspires us. It makes we make references to it all the time. Ooh,
Ooh.
my goodness. Yeah, this is turning into a weird three walled situation.
Maybe it could be a Navajo sweat lodge. Hey.
That's what I'm thinking, or like some little like shanty outhouse in the middle of the West. It would fit this desert climate.
Mm-hmm.
It would be very on brand for the weather.
It reminds me of when I was a kid, building forts at home.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I still love doing that.
I mean, it was usually like with bed sheets and blankets and stuff, and chairs strategically placed. But why not with cardboard? Yeah.
That's much more comfortable. And I would typically say that should be true, especially if you're making an inside fort. But outside fort, I think our sheets would get dirty out here.
Right.
So
our parents would get
why
annoyed.
Yes, that would not be so good. Oddly enough, I'm using this panel that was part of the top wing as a floorboard, and it fits really well in here.
Nice.
That's kind of crazy.
Hey, serendipity.
Yeah, who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Just got to look at things differently.
Ooh,
Let's
there's
see, what
Kate.
else have we got going on? Oops.
Okay. Our visual of you is your photo.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, what you have missed then is just me, and my whole entire setup just blew down.
Ah, there you are.
I am
I
really
see your
battling
setup now.
the elements. Yes, I am really battling the elements right now. It is not wanting to be friendly with me today.
You're doing your best. I mean, if there's one thing that we
you.
cannot control is the elements. So
That is true.
Yeah,
That is so true. No matter how much we try.
Mm-hmm. And is there something that you can speak to as far as things that we cannot control in this life?
Ooh, yes. There's a lot of things we cannot control in this life, and I've had to learn that the hard way because as somebody who is innately empathetic, that's just the way that I've been. I just take on everybody's emotions around me,
I hear
and
you.
I get so stressed out like this entire time. I know that I haven't lost work because I've been here with you all and I've been so grateful, but I have had friends who aren't so lucky, and it has been very stressful to be witness to their pain, you know, but
Yeah.
that's something that I cannot control. I cannot control other people or their feelings.
Mhm.
I can't control what shape this cardboard is going to bend. If I cut it a certain way, because like for instance, there's this piece. I'll show you from out here. There's a crease in it, right where the cardboard is.
Ah,
And if I was a perfectionist, I would want it straight all the way across. But when I was cutting it, the bend just naturally happened.
right,
That's something I can't control.
right.
And you just have to. I know it sounds so hard, but you got to just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Um, and always do your best, and that can change every day. Your best doesn't have to be the same
Mm-hmm.
every day. Your best can fluctuate. It
Yeah.
could be better one day, it could be worse one day, and that's all okay.
And
I think it's just more of self-recognition,
mm,
and that's what you can control is your
Mm.
self-recognition. But you cannot control other
mhm.
people or other things, just yourself.
Recognizing what you're feeling in that moment, what are your thoughts, and
Yes.
what is happening in the reality of around, in the reality around you, and just sort of
Yeah,
accepting it and moving on. I mean,
precisely.
yeah, I mean that's
Precisely. That's all you can do. As a smart person once told me, I need to look after my own monkeys, and if they are not my monkeys, they're not mine.
yes. They're
Okay, so
yeah.
I said a house, and now this is turning into some sort of weird like backdrop, like where you could
Ooh.
act and be like, I'm in a different scene,
Yes.
city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of
Totally.
love this though. Part of me wants to look for a very specific um uh audition in this corner. It's soundproof. I
Right.
have windboards on this side,
Uh-huh.
not on this side. I do need to do that.
I see you. I see you right now at the beach. Like
Oh yeah,
you're at the beach
my
and you
goodness,
can
you're right.
paint the
I am.
ocean and the sky
Oh
and the sun
yes, I
and the
love that.
horizon.
I'm actually really digging that idea. Like a
I
little beach photo backdrop.
I see it. It's real. Yeah. With the hat,
I feel it.
I mean, you're already in wardrobe.
Yeah, I'm kind of just feeling it with the blue that's already on
Yeah.
here.
Two
I'm
Bit
like, I
Circus
feel
goes to
like
the beach. Yeah.
that's it. That's it. We're gonna do 2BC at the beach. See, we went from a ship to a house to the beach.
Look at
Look
us.
at
We're
this cardboard.
traveling in isolation. I love it.
This, you know what? I did one of my goals for 2020 was to travel more. So thanks for being part of that with me,
Yes.
Tora.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had so many travel plans this year, and, we'll see. I mean, I haven't ruled everything out, but, it's
Right.
so we'll see. We'll see
Well,
what happens.
And oddly enough, a lot of museums have turned their collections online.
Mhm.
You can browse a lot of museums.
Yeah,
There's
you
one
can
that
take-
I'm specifically looking for. It's the Dior collection that went
Ah.
around that was sold out, but they
Mm.
uploaded all the gowns online, and I'm gonna do that later. That's gonna
Oh,
be
is
my treat
that-
for myself
Is
today.
that from the Met in New York?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think so. And
okay.
it was in the Victoria and Albert last time I
see.
heard wind of
Okay.
it with
Oh,
the
okay.
VNA.
Right on.
So I'm understanding now. The wind is blowing this direction, hence why I'm having all my problems.
Uh-huh. I think we
Uh-huh.
have 4 more minutes. Is that what you said?
Oh no!
4 more?
Well
Okay.
then I will wrap up with you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Is there anything you want me to
think,
wrap up before
I mean,
we say our goodbyes as my cardboard collapses?
well, that was a very enlightening and fun exercise in building amongst the elements. And yeah, being able to, use our imaginations and travel around a bit with our community,
Yeah.
with our 2-Bit Circus community, and going through process, You know, I'm always interested in people's process, in the process of artists, of creators, of makers, of builders. Really getting your perspective about mindset, and you know, a bit of your backstory too was really lovely and enlightening. And thank you for sharing all that with
No,
us.
thank you for being here. And I know we gave you more of a philosophy lesson than was planned.
But we
thank
never
you for
know.
listening, and thank you for being there.
I mean, it was all, you know, I mean, there was real value built in, and I really applaud
truly
you
was.
for your persistence, and even recognizing that frustration can be part of the process as well. And then
Yes.
making decisions where, okay, what is the best use of my time? You know what?
Yes.
I want to try building a house. And so and really going along with that. And I actually like that sort of backdrop scenario. I think there's definitely something there. I know maybe with less wind, but
Less wind.
yeah. And when you have time to, you know, like fortify and use different materials or what have you. But now
better tape. That's what I
Yeah.
really learned from this is better tape.
it's such a learning process, and you know, you'll come back at it with different materials, with more of a sense of what could be more helpful in terms of resources and materials. So we have one more minute. Any closing words from you, Kate?
I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you next Tuesday. I can't remember my project right now because I am all painted out, and I think the TIE Fighter killed my brain for a little bit, but it was so wonderful sharing this time with you all. Thank you to Two Bit Circus. Thank you to Vance. Thank you to the Cardboard Challenge. Thank you to our community for letting me be here today. It's always an honor and a pleasure. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, but I'm going to go take a shower because this heat is getting to me.
And thank you so much, Kate. You were amazing. Thank you for your bright and winning attitude. And you deserve that